Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. Welcome to a Way Offside Short recruiting edition. We know you guys absolutely love you some recruiting. So here we are. And we're going to talk a little bit of recruiting with you. Specifically, we're going to talk about five-star tight end Mark Bowman, Mater Day, the California native. Could be the next big one. Alabama in their 2026 cycle is looking for a tight end who is quote unquote ready to go. And Bowman has been called Brock Bowers 2.0. We know that that is a lofty statement, but it's been said. Crazier things have been said. But there's a little bit of update on Bowman's recruitment. Bowman, the California native, has been predicted by some to go to USC. Now, these are not high value, credible recruiting sources. This is not your On3 rivals, people like that. Now, On3 does have USC with a slight edge for Bowman over the Alabama Crimson Tide to land in their 2026 class. A very slight edge. I believe it was just a fraction of a percentage. Very small, very, very tiny. But anyway, Bowman does have visits scheduled to the capstone coming up and would be a massive addition to Alabama's 2026 class, launching them further into the rankings higher up if they're able to land the Mater Day prospect. We all know that Alabama has a very strong history with Mater Day. Yes, right now, USC has a 3.5% advantage over Alabama, according to On3. And this is per their, I believe it's their RPM model. And this thing is not highly accurate. But Alabama's still highly in play. It looks like it's between those two schools. Oregon's in there, Texas is in there, Georgia's in there, although they're kind of way down. But Bowman does, like I said, he does have more visits scheduled to Alabama, and we'll see when those are, because those are going to matter, especially the summer visits. We all know in recruiting, you follow the visits. That's what we do, right? We follow the visits. And for Mark Bowman, he has a few coming up, like I said, including a summer visit, which is a big deal. We all know what happened last year after Alabama's summer cycle of recruiting. They finished it off with the cookout and things like that. And Alabama was able to lock down several recruits. So we'll see what happens with Bowman. He did have a crazy, quote unquote, crazy USC Trojans visit, but the number one tight end in the country will make his way back to Alabama. He has visited twice already. He was there for the Georgia game. So kudos to all you guys that made it to that game and made that environment what it was, because it does, those things do impact recruiting. And so we want to make sure that we are, when we're at games, we're doing the right thing, right? We're being loud, we're being proud, we're showing our recruits a good time. That goes for social media too. We all probably could do a better job with these recruits and these players on social media, not being so terrible to them when things don't go our way. They see that. But Bowman will take an official visit to Alabama at some point in time. I expect when that happens, that model that On3 uses will shift in Alabama's favor. We'll see how the Tide close this one out. Now, some other players keep an eye on. Five-star cornerback Jordan Edmonds is somebody we're really high on. Alabama has made a very big impression on him, but they have a ton of guys coming in over the summer. A lot of in-state targets: Anthony Jones, Shadarian Morgan, Xavier Crowell, Jaquez Wilkes, and then Elbert Hill, Trenton Henderson, Elijah Golden. And they're potentially trending for a few. Now, one guy that Alabama was really big on, it looked like Alabama was in the running for, was Boobie Feaster. He has now been predicted by the recruiting agencies to land at LSU, so we'll see what happens there. Alabama's not going to stop going after this guy. I think Bama wants to continue this trend of good receivers, really good, high-octane receivers, and with the right quarterback in place. I think once these kids see the quarterback situation in Alabama, that's going to take care of itself, especially with the potential of playing under Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer together. So I wouldn't stress too much about that early prediction. Like we tell you guys, it is March. It's the day after St. Patrick's Day. There is a long way to go in this recruiting race, and Alabama, unlike some schools, is a little more strategic about how they use their NIL. So they're not going to lock down a lot of guys yet. They're not going to overpay for somebody, but they're going to go get what they need to fill the positions they need, and then they'll supplement in the portal, such as the defensive line position. A lot of you guys are like, why are we hosting cornerbacks on official visits? We need defensive linemen. Alabama's going to get their D linemen. Don't worry. Don't worry. They're going to go to the JUCO ranks. They're going to go to the transfer portal. They're going to get their defensive linemen. So stop stressing. These guys know what they're doing. I'm telling you. I promise. Listen, this staff came in. I think Alabama ultimately, when it was all said and done, finished like 3 or 4 nationally in recruiting this year. That's not what we're used to. We're used to finishing 1 or 2 with Nick Saban. But this staff came in after Nick Saban retired, the greatest football coach of all time. After all these people in the media were saying Alabama's done, it's over, the dynasty's dead, lost 4 games this season, and then locked down a top 5 class. That has got to be potentially the greatest recruiting job of all time, and that's going to continue. Take a breather. Don't get too stressed out about recruiting right now. If you see people saying, accounts saying, hey, this person's favored, even us, we're wrong sometimes. Unless we have a personal relationship with this kid, unless you are sitting in their living room and you know what's going on with them, you can never be 100% sure where they're going to go. So if somebody's predicted here or there, just wait. Just wait. We all saw what happened with guys like Bryce Underwood last year. Underwood was committed to LSU for a very, very long time. Minute Michigan offered him a bag, he bounced at the last minute. That's just the nature of college football right now until somebody lassos this thing and hog ties it, set some parameters around it. So let me know what you think in the comments. Please do me a favor before you leave. Please subscribe. It is a big deal that you subscribe because we depend on you to get our content out there. If you like what we're doing, we know a lot of you are faithfuls. Be sure you're sharing in social media groups, on your social media accounts. Just let people know we're here. So we love each and every one of you. As always, you know the drill. Before we go, say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, horns down, beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Roll Tide.